To a very special program. We are here in Wolverhampton at the Nishkam Primary School, where we've got the Right Honourable Member of Parliament William Hague and Right Honourable Paul Uppal, the Member of Parliament for Wolverhampton, who are coming with other dignitaries and parents, teachers who are coming to the school for the grand opening of Nishkam Primary School, Wolverhampton.
I'm truly humbled and honoured to be part of the Nishkam family, which not only provides academic excellence to our children through a personalised approach, but also teaches good moral values. These values are common to us all and provide children with the essential life skills to become better people in modern Britain. I'm grateful to the parents who share our vision, the teachers who are positive role models every day, all the support staff and volunteers who are often the unsung heroes. Our chair of Nishkam School Trust, Dr. Bryn Mahan, who works tirelessly. And most importantly, our patron, Vice Sabji, whose vision this has been for over a decade, in which we nurture the very best humans can be. Thank you, Vice Sabji, for your guidance, direction, selfless service and passion for education.
At Nishkam School, we acquire knowledge through the subjects we are taught, but what makes us different is that we learn and develop our values such as truth, service, humility, compassion, forgiveness and contentment. We use these values in our everyday lives. We learn about them in our assemblies and our faith lessons, and basically everything we do at school. This has taught me to further understand the purpose of values, and I now know that these values will help me on my journey through life. We have also learned that we serve each other as if we are serving God. If you cannot see God in all, then you cannot see God at all. At Nishkam Primary School, we are a family. My parents, friends, teachers, even the school bus driver and the dinner lady who serves me my lunch have all played a vital role in helping me become who I am today. Respected Vice Sabji and Right Honourable Mr Hague, thank you for being role models, and thank you for creating opportunities for young people like me to learn and to have the best education possible. I look forward to continuing my journey with Nishkam. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to you, and thank you for listening.
At Nishkam, we gain knowledge and strengthen our characters with love, compassion, humility and truthful living. Nishkam means selfless service. Our school provides us with opportunities to carry out seva or selfless service. For example, at lunchtimes, we pray before eating, then we take it in turns to serve food to each other and wash each other's hands. We learn about values by putting them into practice every day. Nishkam is a home away from home. It is not an ordinary school. The teachers treat the children like they are their own children. They care about how well we do in our lessons, as well as growing as a person. At the start of a lesson, the teachers and pupils bow to each other to show equality, respect, and to acknowledge the light of God inside us all. We are encouraged to treat each other as brothers and sisters and look after and help each other in and outside of the classroom. Our first assembly was very inspirational. Just like one match lights another match, our aim is to uplift everyone's spirits around us. This is what I learned on my first day of Nishkam. Imagine what I will learn in 7 years.
We believe, you know the phrase, going the extra mile. Well, we think about going the extra 2 miles. We believe in aspiration. We believe that most of our students, or a large proportion of our students, will go on to university after they've left their time with us and become lifelong learners. And those that don't, we hope to fulfil their potential. And we're about unlocking potential. Great teachers recognise potential in all of us. And as I look around this room now, everyone in this room will have a gift. Will have a skill at something, and great teachers can discover that. So when I look at our children, I hope I'm looking at CEOs and airline pilots and surgeons But I also hope I'm looking at a member of our next Olympics Games team, or someone who's going to have a painting in the Tate, or someone who's going to compose a ballet. We unlock potential. That's what we do. We're aspirational. We've been in touch with Oxbridge universities. Why not? Why shouldn't our children aspire to those sorts of things? Aspiration is so important to us. All successful people have high levels of aspiration. All successful organisations have high levels of aspiration. And that figures strongly. We don't believe in satisfactory. Satisfactory is not a word for us. We believe in excelling and going beyond that. We've got there the top 25% quartile academic achievement by any standard you care to measure. We've refined that now. It's going to be the top quintile now. It's going to be the top 20% for all of our schools by any measure. And we put a great deal of emphasis on teaching and learning. If schools are not about teaching and learning, what are they about? What are they about? We develop our teachers, we nurture our teachers. As is the teacher, so is the school. Very, very important to us. And what goes on in those classrooms is important. Our classes are small, no more than 25. And that's what we intend to carry forward. I've mentioned about potential. Something else that's very, very important to us are our values. And the children here were far more eloquent than I could ever be about portraying our values. And Nishkam itself means selflessness. It means doing service without expectation of reward, without even expectation of recognition, but just doing it for the joy of service. What a concept. What an amazing concept. That's what we live by. That's what we live by. And we are multi-faith. Whatever impression you take away with you today, will you please go away and say Nishkam is multi-faith. We believe in all faiths here. All faiths are important to us. If we're all Sikh in the next few years, we'll be very, very disappointed. We're trying to produce good people here. We want Muslims to be better Muslims, Christians to be better Christians, Hindus to be better Hindus, Sikhs to be better Sikhs. We're about the idea of faith itself being important as an aspect of our lives. We nurture all faiths. Very, very important to us. Very important to us. And we're not embarrassed, we're not ashamed to talk about some values there. Humility, love, forgiveness. We had a teacher training day not so long ago on love. How many schools do that? On love. How can we portray, how can we imbue that concept of love in our children? Humility, creativity. That's what we do. That's what we do. We do it in our everyday lives. As the children said, we do it in our everyday lives. In every assembly, in every lesson, every scheme of learning, teachers will build in those values into what we do with our children. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And you know, people with values want to be successful. And again, just think in your own mind, somebody who's successful that you've met, and I bet they've got a strong set of values. I bet they have. Children with values want to learn. Children with values want to behave. Children with values want to succeed. And research tells us that outstanding Ofsted schools, there's a strong set of values in that school. It's no coincidence. They go together. And then our community. Our community. In 40 years in this business, I've never known an environment where there is a closer link between the schools and the community. It is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. I have witnessed people going to work all day and then coming home, changing into overalls and working in our schools. Saver, no charge, no expectation of recognition. And you know, when I tell my friends about this, they listen to the words, I'm not sure they believe me. I'm not sure they believe me. And I used to say to them, why do you do this? And they said, because it's a privilege. How about that? It's a privilege. Absolutely fantastic. The amount of resources that goes into our schools from the community, sometimes monetary, millions of pounds go into our schools, and sometimes donations are given by people who really can't afford it. Haven't got that sort of money, but they do it because it's a privilege. We know all our families so well. All of our families so well. We have a legacy from our community. If we do well, our community does well. The links are just so terrifically strong. Those things are very important to us.
The primary classroom is a fertile arena for drawing out and cultivating key human spiritual values in young children. One of the Millennium Development Goals is developing partnerships. The Nishkam School Trust takes an integrated approach in delivering education, involving the pupils, parents, teachers in the local community, and simultaneously partnering with the government, society, and guiding institutions such as universities. Our vision is to empower children with values, to enable them to excel academically and spiritually, enabling them to serve humanity selflessly with an abundance of love, compassion, and forgiveness. Pupils are inspired to become faith practitioners through prayer and service, and to become good human beings, rooted in values, virtues, and having an integrity of character. Future education strategy. In a world so troubled by ignorance, misconceptions, and hostilities based on religious identity, the development of a sound model for interfaith education is imperative. Interfaith cooperation must be enhanced through a comprehensive education strategy that breaks down the seemingly insurmountable divide of us and them. This education needs to begin at home, within families, through schools, institutes of higher education, and ultimately reach politicians, legislators, governments, and multilateral organizations. Those within the interfaith context must take the lead in educating both their members as well as members of other faiths about the commonalities between the faiths and the need to love and serve all of humanity. This will ensure that we are not just tolerant of others, but that we are prepared to accept and respect both ours and others' beliefs. Indeed, that we are able to sacrifice the self for the other. Such a deep spiritual bond is the best way to ensure that this century becomes the century of peace. Thank you.
Only 3 years ago, this was admittedly a very long application form with a vision, but it was just on paper. And then here we are today in this building with these fantastic young people here, making it all real. And it's thanks to all of you. And I think, to be honest, I generally come here just to say, well done. I haven't done anything. All of you have done it. Your vision, your passion, your community, the parents who put their trust in Nishkam, and of course, the people that are really going to benefit from this, the pupils. So congratulations to you, and thank you so much for inviting me to join you. And I'm confident that you will join the 70% of free schools who've been judged good or outstanding in just 2 years of opening. It's a fantastic achievement. You should all be proud. Well done.
Gurpreet, I understand you're going for elected office at a young age. As William will, I think, testify, be careful what you wish for with these sort of things. My daughter as well has just joined the school council, and who knows where that will go, but each to their own, I guess. Thank you to everybody for coming along this morning. Parents and children, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. This is in my constituency, obviously, and it's something that makes me incredibly proud that we're all here today to commemorate and sort of celebrate the fact that we're opening the school today. The educational story around Wolverhampton has some issues, and I don't mean to be controversial, but sometimes, just to quote Terry, sometimes that aspect of satisfactory has been something that's been all-pervasive. I hope that through this school we can just raise the ambition level a little bit. On a personal note, when I went to my primary school in southwest Birmingham, I happened to be the only brown face in the entire school. For 3 years, I was kept in a remedial class because the teachers thought I couldn't speak English. Then a teacher came and spoke to me. His name was Mr Breeden, and he said, "Paul, you can speak English." I said, "I can read it too, sir." If Mr Breeden didn't have that 30-second conversation with me, I don't think I'd be standing at this platform today. And that story I love telling to students in Wolverhampton, because sometimes I can see them at the back, not really paying attention, they're fidgeting. They're just like I was, that shy little kid who nobody was particularly interested in. And the minute I say that, the light goes off and they look at me, because they haven't read about somebody. There's somebody in front of them, standing there, talking about something that resonates with them. And the wonderful thing about this school is that long after I'm gone, they won't need me to come into that classroom anymore. They can come and visit this school. So thank you, not just for everybody who's come this morning, but the service you do to this city and to the future children who are going to come through these gates. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much indeed. It's a great pleasure to be here with you this afternoon. I'm impressed by so many things that I've seen in the last 45 minutes or so. I'm impressed by the wisdom of the patron, by the enthusiasm of the executive principal, by the dedication of the head teacher, the hard work of the chair of the trust. I think, of course, I'm always impressed by the hard work of Paul Uppal, my friend and colleague, whose idea it was that I should join you here today, and he always speaks up so well for his constituency and the people of Wolverhampton, and it's great to see him in his own constituency. But I'm most impressed of all, actually, by the pupils of this school. I famously gave a speech as a 16-year-old once, nearly 40 years ago. I think most of these are quite a bit younger than when I gave that speech. Most of them gave, and I'm now leader of the House of Commons, they gave better speeches than I hear in the House of Commons. And so I can see you are doing a great job here at this school, and the pupils show it. And I just went for a few minutes into a couple of the classrooms, and if you visited dozens of schools, as MPs have, as people like Paul and I have, you can sense the atmosphere. You can see very quickly whether the pupils really like their school. Often they tell you whether they do or not. And according to these pupils, they really do. They really value it. And it's a great pleasure to be able to salute your work, to encourage you in your work. It's a pleasure to do so because I know so much work has gone into creating the opportunity to have this school. As Natalie said, the forms that were filled in a few years ago. But now this is a fantastic enterprise and an inspiring one. And it's great that it is a free school because you are free to produce those outstanding results, to do so in the ways that you judge to be right. And it is good that it is a school based on faith, that is multi-faith, as we heard, that is open to other faiths, but is based on faith, because that helps to create the sense of ethos and purpose and direction in life that is more than the technicalities of an education. And we heard some very wise words earlier about the importance of that. And so it is an enormous pleasure to congratulate you on what you have achieved so far, to wish well to your pupils, who will be as we heard, the chief executives and the leaders, the artists, maybe the members of Parliament of the future as well, and therefore a great pleasure to join in unveiling the plaque for Nishkam Primary School here in Wolverhampton, and to declare you, there we are, officially open. Thank you very much.
What a memorable day to cherish in the history of Nishkam School Trust, where the gathering of a lot of people, parents, teachers, students, dignitaries, leaders, and our chief guest, Right Honourable William Hague, local Wolverhampton Member of Parliament, Right Honourable Paul Uppal. It was an event which was marked with a lot of praise for the faith-based schools, the free schools, which have become a part of our education system in the United Kingdom. We were very privileged to share a few words from our chief guest, William Hague. Let's hear what William Hague had to say.
I think the Nishkam School Trust is doing wonderful work. This is the first time I've seen one of these schools myself, but I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed by the standard of the education, but also the commitment to values and to being so present in the community and supported by the community. That's a fantastic combination. So I congratulate everybody on putting this together. And here you have a school that is free to teach in the way that the head teacher and the trust see fit to achieve those high academic standards, but also has the ethos of being a faith-based school, which means it's more than education, more than a narrow education. And so I think this will be a big success. I hope it will encourage other free schools in Wolverhampton and elsewhere.
The work of Nishkam generally and the work of Nishkam Primary School so far, I think, speaks for itself. I was just speaking to William now when he just left, and we as politicians, we go into many, many schools, but he did say something when he was speaking which was actually crucially important. The minute you walk into a school, you can actually feel the atmosphere, and seeing the children in the reception class, everybody who's sitting there today, you can actually see there's not just academic excellence here, but the values is absolutely the crucial thing. And it's wonderful it's open to everybody in Wolverhampton. And I say you can see it, you can actually feel it. One of the stories I always remember is one of the parents talking to me about the problem she was having with her son coming to school. Every morning she couldn't get him up. Okay. The minute he's come here, she goes, actually when he's on holiday now, he can't wait to go back to school. Those words are much more important than any politician's words. And it's about how our Sikh values are not just for us as Sikhs, they're for everybody in the globe. And one of the ways we can manifestly show that is through education, and it's wonderful. Rather than talking about it, we're actually doing it. We're doing
showing it that this is the way.
And a lot of the kids here come from a traditional, non-Sikh background. It's open for everybody. Guru Nanak Dev Ji always said that. One of his fundamental teachings was, so often to be a Sikh is to learn. And that doesn't mean criticizing anybody, just actually show an example. Sure. And I think this school is a living example of Sikhism at its best.
Well, we've had the great privilege of working with the Trust on all 5 of their schools. They're doing a fantastic job. They're making a real difference to the lives of kids in Birmingham and now in Wolverhampton. So it's been really a real privilege for us at New Schools Network to work with them.
Gosh, it's been one of the most exciting journeys of my life. Over the last 2 or 3 years, I've seen schools come from a dream. I've seen them grow. I've seen them develop. I've seen young people touched by all the sorts of philosophies that we try to imbue, not just in our children, but in our families, in our community. Our sense of values about love, forgiveness, compassion, all of those things I've just been so impressed with. It's something I've not met in my previous experience. If you ally that as well with high academic standards, with a focus on teaching and learning, and the amount of effort that goes into unlocking the potential of each one of our children, whatever their potential is, whether it's academic potential or other potential, I think it's been really, really worthwhile. And some of the outputs already are quite stunning and quite startling. The Nishkam family is a real family. Everyone working together, everyone understanding each other. And some of the things I've seen through Seva have really been something I've never experienced before. Absolutely wonderful. People working together for a common aim, for a common purpose. And the results have been outstanding.
I feel very happy that we have been able to realize our dream, which started maybe 16, 17 years ago. We had noticed and realized that unless kids are given values, they will not be able to do well in society. And so this is why we started with a nursery, then the reception school, primary school, secondary school, and in 4 years to be able to have 4 schools from scratch was hard work, a lot of commitment, financial, and of course a lot of volunteering. Sikhs are very, very fortunate. We respect all faiths. As you know, we have Guru Gobind Singh Ji informing us, Manas ki jaat sabe ek hi pehchan bo. We have Awwal Allah Noor upaya Kudrat ke sab bande, ek noor te sab jag upjaya kaun phale ko mande. So such verses give us such rich heritage of multi-faith and interfaith. We respect all faiths. But that does not mean that we do not want people to have their own faiths respected. If you are born a Sikh, be a good Sikh. If you are born a Muslim, be a good Muslim. If you are born a Buddhist, be a good Buddhist. We respect all and we should respect everybody. So multi-faith is important, approach is important, because we live in multicultural, multi-faith societies. As I said, local is now global, and global is local. And this mass migration, people are moving from one country to another. And you may have 4 or 5 neighbors who are all different faiths. You have to respect them. And respect them genuinely. So multi-faith is important. And faith, as you know, all goodness emanates from God. Sab gun tere, main nahi koi. Whether one likes to believe in that or not, we all have the capacity to do infinite good. And we all have the capacity to be very wicked and do a lot of wrong. So as kids, whatever we learn lasts us for our life journey. Faith is important because it enables you to plan your life here, and it also advises about life hereafter. Nobody else who is gone comes and tells you about it. It's only sacred scriptures that tell you something about that, and that we are accountable. And when we will be in God's audience, Othe jahatna zor hai, Othe jio nive, jinki lekhe pat pave change se ke. It is the actions that are important. So all thought processes are important. Whatever you entertain as a thought in your mind is important. If you have good thoughts, you will have good actions resulting from that. You will reap a good crop. So you have to be guided, and you have to be guided from a very early age. And you have heard me emphasize every time that education doesn't begin at the nursery, it begins at conception. If the mother is stressed, the child is stressed. So this we have to bear in mind, and then this is why it is teamwork. Education is about society, it is about teachers, it is about parents, grandparents, everybody. Is teamwork to provide, educate children, inculcate good values in them.
The opening of Nishkam Primary School in Wolverhampton today has been really, really positive. We've had Right Honourable William Hague, Right Honourable Paul Uppal, Baroness Natalie Evans, who've attended today to have such a wonderful occasion. And it was really nice to hear Paul Uppal's story, his journey of education, how he came into the primary school and was inspired by one of his teachers to enable him to be as successful as he is today.